Hello, it's only Trans Girl here. Just thinking about going out for a ride. The sun has finally started to come out, I think. I think winter's on its way out, which is great because winter sucks pretty hard. I had to get a new helmet this year, so I kind of splurged a bit and got some new gear. My other gear was men's gear, and it was more tailored for warm weather, and so I was cold all the time when I was riding. I got some really cute stuff that I want to try out. Well, it's still pretty chilly, just to see what it's like, because it does fit pretty snug. I can't fit a whole lot of base layers underneath it. I want to see how warm it is. So this is my new jacket. I believe it's a Flare 2, I call it, from Revit. It's really cute. I really like it. It really stands out because of the white color. Most riding gear is black, and I don't know. It's hard to see, right? But it does hide the bugs and the guts and stuff. These are the pants I got. Don't remember what the brand or what the name is of them, but they're Revit pants as well. Both of these things are waterproof, windproof, and they have thermal layers in them, so that's awesome. I really enjoy that. There's the helmet that I got. It's an LS2 Explorer. It's got tons and tons of ventilation. It's got a pin lock, drop-down shield. It's got safety pads for you can pull out. Paramedics can pull out the cheek pads without breaking my neck. It comes to that, which is always good. And let's see what else. I got these boots. These boots here are Alpinestars Belize for waterproof. They're kind of like a adventure boot, but not like full-on adventure boot, because I didn't want anything too tall and too stiff in case I feel like walking around when I get to where I'm going. And yeah, also my really sweet mommy got me a GoPro for Christmas, which was really sweet because I never asked for one, but she had overheard me talking about them, and yeah, so she called Santa and they made their magic work, which is really awesome. So I wasn't keen on putting a mount on my helmet. I don't know how that would affect aerodynamics, or crashing with a camera mounted to my face might not go as well. And also the helmet was really expensive, and I don't really want to stick stuff to it yet. You know, give me a couple of years. It took me a couple of years or a few years to stick stickers on my AGV helmet, so yeah, I'm kind of like that, right? So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so I'll see how this goes. I'll hook up my GoPro to my backpack. I have a little microphone. See if all that works out and what the camera angles look like, and we'll give it a go. So join me if you want to, and let's hit the road.
All right, all geared up. Here we go. I went out yesterday, and it's a lot colder than it was yesterday. The sun's still shining though. It's great. Couple of things I noticed yesterday was these boots are a lot different to get used to than my commuter boots. A lot stiffer, they're a lot thicker, and I noticed that I was dragging the rear brake a little bit and not feeling that I had it pressed. And also gear changes, I seem to hit some false neutrals quite often. I just need to adjust the gear lever a bit better. I adjusted it all the way up as high as it could go to get my toe underneath it, but I think that's a little too high. And the brake, I can't really adjust, but it's something I have to be aware of. Sure, like everything else on a motorcycle, the rear brake is probably expensive. Yeah, it's a lot colder today. I'm not gonna go very far. Just wanted to try all this stuff out and see if I can actually be heard. I don't know if it's gonna be really windy. Just have my mic attached underneath my chin guards. Saw a video last night saying to stuff it in your cheek pads. I guess maybe that's an option too, but the way I have it, I like it because I can unclip it and take my helmet off and still take video with my backpack. So I guess it's all trial and error, yo. Ooh, a little bit of gravel there. But it feels really good to get back on the bike. I did do some parking lot practice yesterday, so I'm not just ripping off rough. I can definitely use some more. I am a bit rusty. And as we all know, when you're riding a bike, them skills is perishable. Practice, 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 and then when you think you got it, practice some more. There's one of the mischiefs I was talking about. I'll get used to it. I'm in my second ride with these boots on. They're a lot stiffer than my other ones. But that's good when I get on a bigger bike, and I'll probably end up dropping it. If I do drop it on my foot or on my ankle, these boots offer a lot more protection than my old ones. The old ones I got strictly because they're quick release, easy to put on, easy to take off. I figured if I didn't get something like that, I might be tempted not to wear them, but I found out that I'm kind of an at-gat kind of person, so I rode in my shoes once when I was taking my daughter to a parking lot to try my bike out. She had all my gear on and it felt weird. I did not like riding without gear on. A little tour of my hood. Look at all this gravel on the road. Gotta be very careful. 13,000 kilometers on Charlie. You know, over this winter was the longest he's ever been parked without getting a ride in. It was 2 months, or maybe even more. It's just so much snow and ice this year. It's nasty. So the poor little guy was stuck in the garage. And last time I rode him was pretty much I went to get him serviced, and it was pouring rain. And I just kind of parked him. I didn't, and then like all the hoses and everything had been turned off for the winter, so I didn't wash him down. I don't know if it was the road salt or just the water, but his chain was really rusty. So I had to lube that up yesterday before I went. It looks good now. Big chunk of ice. Car drivers that don't care, they're just gonna chuck you onto the ice. But I'm not going, man. Whoa, 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 whoa. Little bumpy. I hope to make it up north to 100 Mile House this summer. There's a podcast I was listening to, and there's a plane crash in 1965, I think. It was a bomb, Canadian Pacific plane. And it's one of the largest, it is the largest unsolved mass murder in Canadian history, because it was intentional. And they could never prove who did it. So they actually have a monument to that at 100 Mile House. I'd like to go check that out. There's a couple little kids from Norway that passed away on that trip, which is really sad. Kids don't deserve that kind of crap. But yeah, it'd be interesting to check out. I'd really like to head to Parkerville. It's like a preserved ghost town, mining town, I guess. Up north past 100 Mile House. Then maybe swing around Whistler. Go visit my friend in the Lower Mainland. We'll see. I have a week off in June. Maybe that can happen. And I have a few weeks off at the end of summer, which my buddy Petra and I were hopefully maybe planning to go to Vancouver Island. Checking out some stuff around there. But either way, I'm gonna spend those 3 weeks in the seat of a bike, I'll tell you that much. I really want to get out camping this year and work on that, practice that. Van's gonna pull out. Hey, how anxiety keeps me safe on this bike. Oh, and then he's just gonna... Thanks, butthead. People, man. So that's one of the things I really love about riding. It's a really healthy outlet for my anxiety. All those things I think might happen to me that never really do in my day-to-day life seem to happen when I'm on my bike, but I notice them because I'm looking out for them all the time. So I've had a few experiences where they could have been close calls. But I see you, man. I see you way down the street. I know you're gonna pull out and do something stupid. Motojitsu says stupid is everywhere. So gotta be careful. Try to do this carefully. I promised my mommy I would be safe on this machine. But I've also told her that no matter how dangerous riding a bike is, not riding a bike would have been probably fatal to me. Literally saved my life. Like I said, it's a very healthy outlet for all my issues. Lets me live in the moment. There's not many times I actually live in the moment. I spend a lot of time thinking about the future, thinking about the past. Being in the moment is an amazing feeling that I don't experience too often when I'm not on my motorcycle. Traffic. Yeah, so this helmet has a pin lock, which is awesome. I walked around panting in it when I first got it to see if I could fog it up, and I couldn't. But I'm noticing my glasses fog up anyway, so... Glasses. I hate glasses. Oh, I love turning a corner on a motorcycle. Oh. most mundane corner in a car just feels like a thrill. I was watching a guy named Bruce Smart, calls himself Teapot One on the YouTubes, and he was doing a tour of Gran Canaria. Jeez, what a place! Oh my god! Said there's literally thousands of kilometers of roads, and they're all twisty mountain roads in perfect condition. And, like, he was there in the winter and it was like 25-30 degrees. That sounds awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I have a feeling that there's a little too much wind noise coming into this microphone for this to be ideal. I have a little fuzzy piece of material on there that I looked up and they call it a dead cat. I don't know about that. Doesn't feel good to have a dead cat near my mouth, but all the dirt on the road. I was talking to a guy at the dealership when I was checking out this helmet, and he was like, I'm waiting until all the gravel's off the road. I don't like the gravel on the road, it's too scary. And I don't know, we were talking a bit, and we think it boils down to me learning how to ride on a dirt bike as a kid. And I don't find that little squirminess to be that terrifying. I do realize that the bike is going to correct itself most of the time. It's when you try to fight those little wiggles that you mess yourself up, get in trouble, right? It's just, don't panic, yo. Bike wants to stay up too. Nobody wants to crash. But I can see how that can be very disconcerting for a lot of people. But I don't know, maybe I have a death wish, maybe I'm just stupid, but it's kind of fun when the bike gets a little squirmy sometimes. Lets you know you're alive. No greater thrill than being on one of these machines, gotta say. I was telling my mom, riding a bike is the most fun you can have with your clothes on. And in my case, probably the most fun I've ever had with my clothes off. So far. Yeah, darn glasses keep fogging up. Like that. I mean, it's 2022 for crying out loud. Like, you're a kid of the 80s. You grew up watching shows like The $6 Million Man and Bionic Woman. Like, well, where's the hell are my robot eyes, yo? Why am I still wearing glasses? Like, what are those, like a 16th century invention? Like, same with keys. Keys wig me out. Like, it's like, it's the bloody future. Shouldn't my stuff just know who I am by now? Speaking of keys, I started a new position at work, and I work out of 2 different buildings. So I have 2 different lockers now. And I was talking to a guy, and I'm like, I'm never gonna remember 2 locker combinations. I can barely remember the one I have. And he was like, oh, it was a great idea, is just get a little padlock with a key, and then you don't have to worry about it. And I'm like, man, why didn't I think of that? You're brilliant. So I went and got a padlock with a key. Very first day at the new building, I locked my keys in my locker they were in my purse. So yeah, that didn't go well. I had to bust my lock with a crowbar the very first day. Yeah, I'm clever. But you know, if my locker just knew who I was, just opened when I showed up, no problem. Nearly a quarter of the way through the 21st century, y'all. Like, I should be riding this bike on Mars for crying out loud. Go down this way. So it's my elementary school. I remember going here my first day of kindergarten. As a little boy and being so jealous of all the little girls in their very pretty dresses, their cute little shoes, and their nice hairdos. Wasn't really sure what that feeling was, but it made me very frustrated because I was wearing brown cords. And God, boys' clothes are shitty. I did get my first round of laser hair removal on my face last week. So you might have noticed my beard was looking even grosser than normal, and I actually just shaved this morning. So they said that it's normal to get something called chicken skin afterwards. Can't seem to shave as closely as I did before either. But that's only one session done. I have 5 more to go, and then it's probably some follow-ups. That hurts like a son of a gun, man. Dang, like. They told me it hurt. I've heard that it's not comfortable, but I didn't know it hurt that bad. Yeah, it's not a comfortable experience. But if it gets his beard and his stubble under control, it's definitely worth it. Yeah, gravel makes the corners a little tricky. This is going to be a treat because it's always dark down in here. Sun don't shine down in here, boy. So it's good. I don't know where that came from. I'm sorry. But yeah, it tends to be slick and gravelly and dirty down here. But hey, danger is my business. It's like I'm getting a chill and I know that I'm on my way home. I'm heading back in that direction. I just don't want to go. I love being on this thing. But I should push it. Fingers are starting to get numb, and those are pretty important. I am going to get heated grips for Masami because it seems to spark everything off when my hands get cold. It seems to travel up my arms and into my core, down my legs, into my feet. Something I didn't mention is talking about feet is I got a pair of Pearlie's possum socks. They're amazing. They're incredibly expensive. You have to pay in US dollars and ship them from New Zealand. Definitely the most expensive pair of socks I've ever seen. And I'll probably only ever be able to afford the one pair, but I'm a huge fan of Adventure Rider Radio, the podcast. And the host of that show, Jim Martin, has made them the official sock of Adventure Rider Radio. He loves them that much. He wears them all the time. Can't stop raving about them, so I had to give them a try. Really trust that podcast. If they told me jumping off a cliff felt good, I'd consider it. But yeah, they're amazing. My feet are cozy as hell. And it just feels like I have like padding all the way around in my boot. Like, yeah, they're amazing. What a sock. And made of merino wool and possum fur. There you go. Who knew? They have a great like anti-odor properties about them. One guy was saying you can wear them on a tour and not have to worry about packing more socks. 'Cause, even when they're wet, they're warm and they don't smell. So I guess possums are really clean, good smelling animals. I don't know. Never really ran into a possum. I don't really know how they shear their fur or harvest their... I don't know. I was telling my mom about that. She's like, "You're killing possums for socks?" I hope they don't do that. Maybe it's roadkill. Maybe they just shed naturally. I have no idea. But I'll tell you what, they make a damn fine sock. But I'm just gonna keep going up the road a bit. I'm not quite ready. Not quite ready for it to end. But yeah, it's cold. Oh, cute little pup boys. Turn around up here. What'll this do for my... U-turn practice on some gravelly roughness? No problem. I like doing stuff like that. Little practice sessions, parking lot stuff. I usually do like figure eights inside little parking stall painted lines. It's all good practice. But definitely need to practice more emergency braking. Especially when I get on a bigger bike, it's going to feel a little different. Never be too safe. But even when I was taking my learner's course, I asked the instructor if this looked like something I should pursue, because I'm sure they see people that they probably think maybe shouldn't be on a bike. And he said no, I seem to have a natural ability for it, and all this stuff seems to come easier to me than it should. I really have a hard time doing a lot of things. I seem to have to put in more effort than the next person for just about everything, but driving a car and riding a bike just seem to come easier for me. So I'm not gonna complain, I like it. Feels good to be good at something too, right? Like, not saying I'm like awesome, but I'm just saying like I really enjoy it and I don't struggle to learn it. And that makes me feel good. Well, here we go. I wonder if my battery lasted the whole time. I guess we'll find out. My dirty little car. If I had my choice, I would just ride this all year round, but it's definitely not always possible in this neck of the woods. Yeah, I made it back safe and sound. All changed.
and went well. The gear is nice. I really like it. Feels really good. I feel really good in it. The pants may be a little snug with a couple base layers on. When I measured myself, I was just in my underwear, right? So, and then once I take out the thermal layer in the warmer weather, it should be perfect. So I don't want them too baggy. I mean, I want to be protected, but I kind of want to look good too, right? So, these are what the prices we have to pay sometimes. So, yeah, all in all, great. Boots feel great, helmet feels great, jacket feels great, pants feel nice when I'm like, they don't dig in when I'm sitting. They just feel a little snug to get on up around my hips, and especially when I'm wearing a couple base layers. But once they're on, they feel really good. And yeah, one thing I've noticed is the batteries in these GoPros do not last very long. This battery was 100% when I left, and it's like 15%, if that 12 or something now. So it's almost dead. That's a shock. I didn't realize how fast those would go, but hey, what can you do? Anyway, thanks for joining me if anyone did. And I'll see you soon. Bye.